Hey beautiful people, welcome to my channel Bakerie. It's your girl Nikki. If you've been here before, if you're a subscriber, welcome back. If this is your first time joining us here today at Bakerie, thank you for joining and welcome. So I have been MIA for a while. I know I really wanted to take a break from social media with the holidays and work and everything that's been going on with me health-wise. I just really wanted to take some time for myself, for my family, kind of rejuvenate, refresh everything, and hit a reset button. So it's 2021, y'all, and it hasn't been going the greatest. 2021 has definitely been filled with some surprises, to say the least, but we're here and that's what's important. I'm grateful for that. So to start off the new year, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to come at you guys with some different material since it's a new year, and I really just want to revamp the channel and bring you guys a new series. So I'm excited to announce that the new series that I'm going to be presenting to you guys today is called Top 5. Today I'm going to be going over my top 5 black female actresses of the 90s. There's so much that our culture is touched with, and so many people that our culture is touched by, that why not talk about it on this platform? Like, why not talk about some of the debates that, you know, we have in our everyday homes and with our, sorry about that, that we have in our everyday lives with each other in our homes. Like, who doesn't have conversations about, oh, their top, you know, top 5 NBA stars or point guards or music producers, or top 5 female rappers, top 5 male rappers, top 5 R&B singers. And I think this is going to be very interesting. When I was researching and prepping for today's video, my husband and I were pretty much debating, even just during the research, like, you know, it's amazing to see like who affected, you know, what celebrities or what actresses or whatever affected each of us growing up, you know, and we grew up during the same times, watching the same movies. I want to go ahead and jump off into the video, but first I need you guys to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I don't know if you're here, I'm really not sure what you're waiting on, but I need you to hit that subscribe button, like this video, give it a thumbs up, and let's debate in the comments. Let's actually kind of, you know, I want to know who are you guys', you know, top 5 black leading ladies in the 90s. So hit the little bell so that you're notified when I am uploading a video, and then you guessed it, tell somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody else about Bakerie, please. Thank you. Okay, you know I had to put that in there. So all products that I'm using today are going to be listed in the description below, so I'm going to take the time to do that now. That's another new thing that I'm adding. Without further ado, we're going to just dive right into the video. Okay, first off, let me say, while you're zoomed inside of my pores or whatever, I know you can see like into my brain, but at any rate, forgive my skin. My skin is having a moment. I don't know what's going on, but she decided that she wanted to betray me and do her own thing. So yeah, my skin is having a moment. So don't worry about what's going on with my skin. Let's focus on my top 5 black female actresses of the 90s. Okay, so for the top 5, my number 5 on my list of top 5 black female actresses of the 90s is gonna go to Regina King. So she started off in 227 in 1985, and 227 was actually on for like 5 seasons, I believe, but I know it was on for 5 years for sure, because it ran from like 1985 through 1990. So after 227, she gave us some dope, I mean some staples for the black culture. She gave us good old Boys in the Hood. Now I don't know if you guys are too, well, you know what, if you're here I'm pretty sure you've seen Boys in the Hood. Like, there's no way you could be at this channel and not have seen Boys in the Hood. But she played Ice Cube's sister. That was in 1991. After Boys in the Hood, she gave us Poetic Justice. Now, Poetic Justice is actually one of my personal favorites. You know, I don't know if y'all remember, she was like Aisha, the alcoholic best friend of Janet Jackson's character. And then in 1995, she was in Higher Learning with Omar Epps, Ice Cube again. Even Busta Rhymes was in that movie, actually. And Tyra Banks was in that movie as well. Jeez, I forget about the 90s had some dope ass movies. And in the same year, Friday came out. Now, I know there's no way y'all cannot tell me. I don't think there's anyone in this country that's black that has not seen Friday. And again, she played Ice Cube's sister in Friday. I don't really have to tell y'all too much about Friday, but she basically brought us Friday in 1995. And then she also brought she was also in A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, which she starred alongside Martin Lawrence, Lynn Whitfield, Della Reese. She did Jerry Maguire in 1996. She also did another movie called Rituals in 1998. She did How Stella Got Her Groove Back in 98. Enemy of the State in 98. Mighty Joe Young. And then she did another movie called Love in Action in Chicago. So the biggest staples, the biggest movies for our culture that she has brought us, definitely Friday, Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, to name a few. The number 4 spot is gonna go to Nia Long. Yes, Nia Long, who, same as Regina King, still around today. I'm just gonna name a few movies that Nia Long was in that she brought to the culture. So her first film that I am aware of came out in 1990, and that film was called Buried Alive, which that really wasn't, you know, too big for the culture, but you know, it still was her very first film. And then after that, in 91, she too was in Boys in the Hood alongside Regina King. She played Cuba Gooding Jr.'s girlfriend who didn't necessarily want to have sex, and he was like trying to convince her and persuade her to change her mind. After that, she was in a movie called Made in America, which came out in 1993. And then 1995, she also, alongside Regina King, was in Friday. I think Friday is when she really began to just kind of get out there. So then following Friday was, she did one of my all-time favorite movies ever, which is Love Jones. I absolutely love Love Jones. She was nominated for 2 awards for her role in that film, and she played alongside Lorenz Tate. I think the writer and the lover in me, and the poet in me, I can never let that film go. I love that film so much. But Love Jones was in 97, and in the same year she also did this movie called Have Plenty. And then in 1997 she also did Soul Food. Nia Long was in the film Soul Food alongside Vanessa Williams. They played sisters in that film. She also did a movie called The Butler in 1998. And then she did In Too Deep. In 1999 came one of her most recognizable roles. She played Jordan Armstrong in The Best Man, and that film came out in 1999. Some actors and actresses that was in The Best Man: Terrence Howard, Taye Diggs, Morris Chestnut. Oh my god, you can't forget. Oh my god, how could I ever forget Morris Chestnut? Lord. After The Best Man in 1999, she also did this movie called Stigmata, where she played a character named Donna. And then she did Held Up with Jamie Foxx. After Held Up, she also did a movie called The Secret Laughter of Women. That was in 1999 as well. So my number 3 spot has to go to Halle Berry. Before I continue with Halle Berry, as you can see, I went ahead and added a little contour to my face. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that out. Okay, don't jump down my throat. And I know a lot of you is gonna say, well, Halle Berry should probably be number 1. I don't think she should be number 1, because I feel like in the 90s, yes, Halle Berry, like, yes, now, like, she's known as one of the greatest actresses of all time, and she has, you know, an Oscar or Academy Award to prove that. Yes, but in the 90s, to me, in the 90s, she was pretty much known for, like, the sex symbol in a way. She wasn't really getting, like, the top roles, and she wasn't really, like, giving the black culture bangers. Like, in 1991, she gave us Jungle Fever. I don't know if you guys remember her as Vivian in Jungle Fever, but she was Vivian in Jungle Fever. And Jungle Fever was with Wesley Snipes, and he was dating a white woman, yada yada yada. She also gave us Strictly Business alongside Tommy Davidson. She gave us The Last Boy Scout, where she played Corey. And as you can see, like, Jungle Fever, yeah, was cool for the culture. Strictly Business, I don't know if you guys seen that movie. Tommy Davidson plays like a friend, and then I can't remember the main, like, the lead actor's name, but he was like the husband that played in The Cosby Show. He was the husband for Lisa Bonet's character in The Cosby Show. And in 1992, this is considered a banger in my opinion. Boomerang. Boomerang was dope. Eddie Murphy, you had Martin Lawrence, David Alan Grier, Tisha Campbell was in that as well. Robin Givens was in that. In 1993, she did Fatherhood. She did a movie called The Program. And then in 1994 came The Flintstones. I don't know if you guys remember The Flintstones, but she was in The Flintstones with John Goodman. Losing Isaiah. That role. After that role, she blew all the way up. In 1997 came a classic black movie, Babs. Come on. She gave us Babs. She gave us Babs. Like, it don't get no blacker than that. I'm sorry. She did Why Do Fools Fall in Love. I just don't think that she was as big as these next two. So I know to some people she probably would be at least number 2, if not number 1. Yes, I gave her number 3, but that's my business. I'm just trying to make my ancestors proud and drink my water. Y'all should do the same. How about that? This is my opinion, and yeah, this is what I put her at number 3. So she did Why Do Fools Fall in Love in 1998, and in that movie she was with Lorenz Tate, who played Frankie Lyman. She was also in the movie with Vivica A. Fox and Layla Rashawn. Number two, and I know y'all are going to go in on me for this one, honey. My number 2 spot goes to Angela Bassett, honey. Don't get no better than Angela, honey. With tell me she didn't murder that scene in Waiting to Exhale. But we're gonna get to Waiting to Exhale. Don't worry about that. Okay, so Angela Bassett is my top 2 spot. I know some of y'all are like, what the hell? Like, how come Auntie Angie didn't get the #1 spot? But I think when I say the #1 person, you may understand where I'm coming from. Then again, you may not, but that's not my business, right? That's your business. I'm just trying to make my ancestors proud. Remember that, okay? So, Angela Bassett started acting basically like, I want to say pretty much when I was born. She was already acting. One of the roles that she was mainly known for in the 90s was her role in Boys in the Hood. She also gave us Malcolm X in 92, Betty Shabazz. She played that shit out of that role as well. Excuse my language. She played in the Jackson 5 American Dream movie as well in 92. And then came her most famous role, I think, of all time. What's Love Got to Do with It? She gave us Miss Tina Turner, honey. And when I tell you she sculpted the hell out of those arms and those legs with Lawrence Fishburne all in her face trying to kill her or smack her up, like, I don't think there's nobody else that could have played that role as well as she played that role. And then she gave us another classic, another banger in 95 with, yet again, Eddie Murphy, Vampire in Brooklyn. Came out in 1995. I think Kadeem Hardison was in that. John Witherspoon was in that as well. Alan Payne was in that movie. So then, same year, she gave us Bernie on Waiting to Exhale. When I tell you, she played the hell out of that role and slapped the hell out of John's mistress in the conference room, honey, and lit that on fire because he said he was gonna leave her for a white woman. She gave us How Stella Got Her Groove Back in 1998. My #1 spot goes to the one and the only Jada Pinkett Smith. Yep, I gave my top 1 to Jada Pinkett Smith. But for me personally, in my everyday life, growing up, when I think of the 90s, and when I think of actresses, I personally think of Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith was, and still is, well, in the 90s for sure, was my #1 favorite actress of all time. I mean, she was where a lot of some of the actresses that I name now, she was where they were trying to get to. In 1993, off top, she gave us some bangers. Come on, like, off top, she gave us some bangers. 93, she gave us Menace to Society. Come on, Kane. Like, Menace to Society by itself, banger already, right? Right? Am I lying? Y'all can't tell me I'm lying. Whatever. If you say I'm lying, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. So, Menace to Society, she gave us Inkwell with Lorenz Tate. Inkwell came out in 1994. And then she also gave us Jason's Lyric. One of her most known roles, Low Down Dirty Shank. Shane. She gave us Nutty Professor. I know y'all remember Nutty Professor. When I say this next movie, okay, I don't want to hear nothing because I'm going to shut it down with this one right here. Set It Off. Who has not seen Set It Off, right? And then she gave us Woo. That character had me dead. But I do have some bonuses for you though. Because I know y'all like, well, damn, she finished her top 5, but she ain't even finished her face. I'm not finished with my face because I'm not finished. So I do have a few, just a few. I only have like 3 honorable mentions because I feel like I couldn't put them in my top 5. But when you think of the 90s, you think of these people, with the exception of one person. I did throw in a curveball. First honorable mention is gonna have to go to a lady by the name of Jennifer Lewis. And you guys may not know her by her name. Jennifer Lewis she's one of those women that, you know, you see on those memes that, you know, they say she's always played somebody's mama somewhere. So she played in Poetic Justice, and she was Tupac's mom. And she played Will Smith's aunt in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She played, so you guys remember when I talked about Tina Turner and when I talked about Angela Bassett, when I talked about Angela Bassett and her playing in What's Love Got to Do with It, Jennifer Lewis played her mom in What's Love Got to Do with It. She played in The Preacher's Wife as Whitney Houston's mom. I believe she also played in Dead Presidents as well as the mother. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because she has this like maternal kind of a vibe or whatever. So for my next honorable mention, I'm gonna have to give this honorable mention to Vivica A. Fox. I think Vivica A. Fox really, you know, just like started booming in the 2000s. In 1996 is when I really remember her stepping on the scene, and that was as the mother in Don't Be a Menace to Society While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. And then in 96 we also saw her in Independence Day alongside Will Smith. And that's when, you know, I think after that movie is when she really started to, you know, start buzzing. But like I said, this was in 1996, so that was the mid 90s, and she was really starting to come into her own, I think, in the mid 1990s. And then she was also in Set It Off. She was also in Set It Off with Jada Pinkett Smith. So I was just like, well, damn, that was such a hot banger. Like, how can I not, you know, mention? And she had a nice little role. I mean, she had a really good role in Set It Off. And then after Set It Off, she gave us Booty Call, Tommy Davidson and Jamie Foxx. And again, with Nia Long, she was also in Soul Food. And also alongside Halle Berry, she gave us Why Do Fools Fall in Love. I'm giving you guys one last honorable mention. I felt like when she stepped on the scene, like as far as movies go, no one was really expecting her. Like, and okay, let me stop. So also, I do have a biased opinion, but at the same time, I feel like, because she's my favorite singer of all time, anybody that knows me probably knows the answer to this, but in that honorable mention is Whitney Houston. Don't shoot me. Hear me out, because when I said this to my husband, he didn't get it at first, but once I explained it to him, he understood where I was coming from. Okay guys, so here's the final look. I'm so sorry about that. My battery died. You know how us black people are sometimes. I hate to put it on that, but at any rate, my battery died. But where I left off was telling you that my last honorable mention was indeed, it is indeed Whitney Houston. And don't shoot me, don't come for me in the comments. I know some of you guys may not agree with me, but like I was saying, the reason that I picked her as an honorable mention is not because she's my favorite singer of all time, but because in the 90s, when she came on the scene as an actress, she basically was just getting roles left and right. Like, she did not have to audition for anything. The roles were basically just like handed to her on a silver platter. Like, she just had her choice of roles. And I feel like with all the black actresses in the 90s that was on the come up and was trying so hard, like, to get leading roles and putting themselves out there, and they were auditioning day in and day out, for Whitney, she didn't have to do that. She was literally the queen of pop music at that time. And like I said, the roles were literally just handed over to her. So when she hit the scene with Bodyguard, I mean, that just blew everybody away. Nobody expected her to jump into the acting world. I'm pretty sure they expected her to stick to singing, and that was probably about it. But nobody saw her dabbling into the acting world. And then for the Bodyguard to do as good as it did, that was just insane at the time. After Bodyguard happened, then came I think Bodyguard was in 1992. So then after Bodyguard in 1995 came Waiting to Exhale, and she was up with some heavy hitters. Like, she was in there with Angela Bassett, who you guys just heard was my number 2 spot. She had Angela Bassett, you had Layla Rashawn, who in the 90s was a pretty significant, you know, heavy hitter at the time, I guess. You had Angela Bassett, Layla Rashawn, and Loretta Devine. I mean, Devine, come on now. She's up there with Jennifer Lewis. She's been acting forever, has played everybody's mama, auntie, and even now grandmother, you know. But I think that Whitney stepped onto the scene and was able to hold her own. After Waiting to Exhale, then came The Preacher's Wife. She was acting with 2 of the biggest black male actors of our time, Denzel Washington and Courtney Vance, I believe is his name, which is Angela Bassett's husband. Come on. Like, she's been acting and has starred with the biggest black actors and actresses in the industry, period. And this is without auditioning. This is without not working her ass off to get here as far as acting goes. Because she was so known around the world, nobody wanted this lady to audition for anything. She was just getting roles left and right. After Preacher's Wife came, then was the iconic role of Cinderella. So Cinderella was with star Brandy, black Cinderella. Then they had a black fairy godmother who was Whitney Houston. That was huge. That was unheard of. And then I think there was an Asian Prince Charming, and I feel like she deserved an honorable mention. That's just my opinion. I know you guys may not agree, and if you don't agree, you can respectfully disagree in the comments. And when I put emphasis on the word respectfully, okay? That's all that I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I also would love for you to subscribe if you have not done it already. If you're here, I feel like you might as well subscribe, because I'm gonna keep pumping out bangers. You already know that. This is a new year, new me type of, you know, you already know the drill. So I need you to hit the subscribe button, thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, I feel like thumbs up it anyway, or you can thumbs it down, but let me know why you didn't enjoy it. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and turn it from white to gray. That lets everyone know, or that will let you know when I post a new video. And yeah, thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you guys have been enjoying yourselves, and like Harriet Tubman said, yeah, we out. Peace.